What's the offer again?
So the funnel is for various things, but the first thing I would do would be to have them come to a webinar.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Webinar registration. And then so the idea here is using Dubb to not only deliver the funnel, but to build and set up the whole thing. And so the very first at the top of the funnel, right, where we start, how do we get people to convert? How do we get them into the funnel? And this is where Dubb is really useful for stuff like this. One, video creation, right? Of course, you use the screen recorder, the mobile app, the desktop app, whatever tool you want to create the video that then goes onto YouTube or Facebook or whatever organic content you want to share with. That's the very first thing. You, of course, don't have to use Dubb for that. But the next thing then happens with how do you then convert that viewer on social media to a registrant for a webinar? And this is where lead capture and the Dubb landing pages come in. So here I will show you an example of a Dubb landing page. So this is just my own personal page, right? Where someone will be able to schedule a time, chat with my AI, watch my videos. But instead of
Okay, I've got that.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. But instead of booking
Yeah.
a time, it's going to say register for the webinar. And then
Perfect.
right here, it's going to say get the ultimate guide or whatever. Like, why do they want to attend? Right. In case maybe they're not ready to register, what can we show them or convince them to get them to register? Right. So register something on for people on the fence, and then maybe some kind of direct response, right? Like a calendar or a phone call or an email or the low hanging fruit, right? Maybe somebody is like, I don't want a webinar. I want to buy now, or right. Let's say, for example,
Exactly.
so that would be the low hanging fruit, your director, the funnel that you're after, right? The calendar register or the webinar registration, and then some sort of lead magnet thing because they're not ready for either one of those, right? That's a commitment. So
Right.
people are less willing to commit to something than they are to get a freebie. So that's why I recommend this setup like that, given this one particular use case. If
Okay.
it was to book a demo, then I would have, of course, the demo instead of the webinar registration. So okay,
Okay.
anyway, that's the button setup. The second
Okay.
thing, the playlist. I highly recommend, of course, when they and this is talking about when you post on Facebook, ad organic on social through an email, whatever, right? Then in the comment section, in the link in the email, in the DM, that's where they're taken to this page where it has these elements, right? That I just want to make sure that's what we're talking about. So when
Right.
you post it on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, then in the
Right.
comment section is where this link goes, right? The link to this landing page goes, not in the post itself, because you don't put links in posts because the social media platforms hate that. So
Right.
anyway, okay, good. We're all on the same page. That's the
Okay.
buttons. The playlist, I would recommend putting additional content here, like testimonials, like why do they want to attend the webinar? What are they going to learn from the webinar? Here's a clip from the previous webinar, right? To get them excited and anticipated. And wow, I can't wait to be a part of what's happening over there. So that's
Yeah.
what I would have in your playlist. And then I'd have the AI chat set up, Sia here, right? Where Sia is going to be able to say, what am I going to learn in the webinar? Why do I attend the webinar? What is something, whatever, right? Your FAQs for getting them to pump up into the webinar. So now you have this one landing page that's going to power up the top of the funnel for this event. That is only the first part, though, because once they register for the event, get the lead magnet, book the time, do something with the AI, those are the triggers to activate the funnel. The funnel then becomes the series of activities that happen within the automation, right? And that could mean emails, it could be text messages, it could be internal reminders, it could be any combination of those things, so that as soon as that happens, the next thing happens, right? It sends an email, it sends a text, it sends you an internal reminder to call or follow up or do whatever with them. Something like this here, where, and now this is the part that usually takes a little bit longer, right? Because some of these steps have videos, maybe some of them don't. Some of them have copy and subjects, and some of them might be internal steps. But this is where Dubb actually delivers the rest of the funnel, right? The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't call people, right? There's no dialer in here. You still have to pick up the phone if you want calling, but it will send the emails, it will send the text with videos without internal remind you to do steps. So this is the middle part of the funnel, right? So we talked about how we get people into the funnel, which is through these lead capture and trigger pages. The buttons and the videos and the playlists and the AI can all trigger the entrance into a funnel like this. This is where then the rest of the funnel could then deliver the steps and sequences in it. And then the last part of this, of course, is hopefully they take some action to move to the bottom of the funnel where you'll deliver the webinar, the calendar, the things like that. My other reminder here or recommendation is at the end of any sequence like this, we should put a little tag, right, where it would say finished the funnel. got to the end of the sequence or something. So this is how Dubb would potentially power up the first two and even sort of the bottom part of the funnel. But I'll also say this one thing, which is the funnel, guys, is now like 10 years old. And it was replaced here not very long ago with the flywheel, right? Where instead of having people come in and down and out, you want them to come in and down and around, right? And then become a referral and a repeat and send referrals back to you. And so that's the new business model that people are, it's much more interesting, right? Because you don't want to
Oh,
just keep
I love
having to
that.
chase new
Yeah.
leads. You want a flywheel effect. And so that is where Dubb will also help. Is I showed at the end of one bucket, right? They reached the end of a drip sequence, and now they've been put into this bucket, which is okay, finished funnel one. But then that itself, that is the trigger for the rest of the sequence, right? Which then goes to a longer term or a difference in activity. Because at this point, we could even say something like if then, right? If they booked a time, if they became a customer, if they did or did not do one of those things, then I could determine the next stage. So, for example, if they were a customer, they purchased, they bought, they became a customer. At this stage, I'm going to send them down my flywheel effect, which is they bought. Now I'm going to say every 3 weeks, every 6 months, every what it is, I'm going to touch them with something valuable, remind them that I have a partner program that I'll pay them for referrals, right? Whatever that marketing engine looks like on my business to get them to become a repeat customer and a referral customer. That's where I would put them. The rest of the people that did not become the customer, I'm going to put them off into a longer term sequence funnel drip. You can see this one's every day for like 7 days. We have a 7 day trial. So it's every day for 7 days. And then it slows down to once a week. But what about after that? We don't want to give up on never email them again, right? So maybe once a month for 12 months or whatever. So that's what would happen after this point. So you can see it doesn't matter whether the top, the middle, or completely turning the funnel into a circle on itself. There's something here inside of Dubb built for all those things. And it's just a matter of working with us, with our team, coming to these trainings, hitting an open mic and saying, I need help with this one piece or these two parts, or look at the whole funnel, audit this whole thing for me. I will
Mhm.
literally do this for every guys, Maria, everyone here watching. If you have built something like this in your business and you submit that open mic and you're like, Darius, I would really love if you could take a look at this thing for me and tell me, like, am I crazy here? Is this going to work? Is this going to fail right on its face? Let me know. And I will absolutely take the time out of the day here to review this funnel and be prepared for this in this open mic to
Great.
say,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
here's what I like. Here's what needs some improvement. And I'll give that absolutely to you. Okay.
Okay. And when you say open mic, you mean the 10 a.m. thing, the
No, no, no.
daily.
Glad you asked. There is a very specific thing right here, dubb.com/open mic. No space, no nothing. It's in the, I just put it in the chat right there. You hit that link, and in these sessions and in the 12:30 AI sessions, I usually, guys, if there's a 12:30 every day, right? 12:30 Pacific every day, coming up here in 45 minutes. That is AI specific training. I prefer, guys, if you ask questions there, it be about AI. If you're like, oh my God, I need some help, we're not going to say no, right? We're not going to, no, go to the right room for the right help. I will ask that you keep the Dubb Studio stuff to the 10. That's what you were saying, the 10 a.m. Perfect place for that. But again, if you need help, we'll get you help. These master classes, I host these every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific for general studies, right? Then on 11:30 on Wednesdays, it's the real estate specific. In these two masterclass sessions, guys, I'll cover anything, everything, like anything that I can possibly help with. Hit the open mic. So maybe if I'm not the expert in something, I can even at least help put together some research to show what would be better. I can help with a lot of general stuff. Won't claim to be an expert at everything though. So I'd say if there is an open mic you think I can help you with, hit that ahead of time, preferably. That way we can give you the best possible prepared answers. So
Okay.
link for that is in the chat, and Maria, bookmark it or whatever if you'd like. And
Got it. Yeah. I
whenever you
wrote
need
it down.
support, yep, I
Yeah.
check
Thank
those.
you so much. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect. Okay. I'm glad you asked because that's one of my favorite things to do. And in fact, with our Pro Plus plan, that's where we spend most of our time with our clients is building out those funnels, right? Each step, making sure the subjects, the bodies, the deliverability, the CTAs, the playlist is just a nice way to make sure everything's in place. So
Okay. Are we able to do an email that does not have a video in it that could be a part of it? Okay.
yeah,
All right. I'll
emails,
look
text
that up.
messages with or
Yeah.
without videos. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Good. Awesome. Okay. Beautiful. Well, I'll pause this recording for now. Thank you so much, Maria, for the support. And guys, if you're watching these recordings, right, join, hit that open mic. Happy to provide whatever level of support you need as well. Thanks.